let's see if I can move that. Oh. Hey Penny, Noelle, hey Dawn. Now that I've got all the audio and video sorted, maybe I'll venture into figuring out how to do a premiere so that people can start coming in. Sorry, I'm rearranging my desk because it's bothering the OCD. Huh. All right, there. Hey, Callie. All right, that I don't want that there. Yeah, I'm gonna forget about that if I put that there. Yeah, I was starting a list of things I need to do or want to do. Hey, Kenny. You know that phenomenon where you know that you're going to forget it if you put it in that spot. But if you put it in a different spot, you won't forget it. Gosh. In an effort to be more organized so I don't say, oh, where did I put my such and such? It seems like I say that in every live stream. Boy, this is my brain today, y'all. This is my brain today. All right. That's okay. We're all good. We're all good. I don't think I'll be needing that, so I can move this up. As you can see, I didn't do a whole lot since Tuesday. It's this darn game my husband bought me. It's so addicting. And I said that last night. I said last night, this game is so addicting. He says, well, there's only two kinds of games, addicting and not addicting. I suppose he's right. But I really need to... Thanks. Thanks, Kenny. I really need to control that gameplay a little bit. I don't play that often. The only time I play is when Lego comes out with a new game. And that could be a year, 2 years. And when they do, then I just play it until it's all played. So I guess it's okay. Thank thank you. I hope so. No, my camera's a little wonky this morning because of how I had to arrange it. Get that autofocus off. Oh, thanks, Callie. I'm sorry, I didn't see that. All right, so over on Coloring with Kay's her YouTube channel, I found some get to know you questions. I thought it'd be fun as I'm coloring to ask these questions. Uh-oh, that's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay, good. The first one is, where do you live? Now, you don't have to tell me where you live. You can just say a state or a country. You don't have to say, I live on so-and-so street in this town or whatever. Just whatever you want to answer. If you don't want to answer, that's okay, too. So that's the first question. Where do you live? I live in North Central Why suddenly I can't spell? That doesn't look like Central. That's right. Two Callies. Wow. That's amazing. Two Californias, I mean, not two Callies. Huh. 3. Wow. Are you really going to type every answer when you can just say it? I suppose, but then you might forget what I said and you might want to see it instead. We can hear you, right? Like, you don't have to type. I know, but what if you forget what I said? You can just scroll up and go, oh, right, she said she was from Texas. Because the reason I do that is in some channels, some live streams, somebody will say, oh, I'm using this thing or that thing or whatever, and then I'll forget what they said, and I'll scroll back up and, oh, they didn't type it in. So it's just one of those things. And all right, Shannon, where do you live, dear? You do you, boo-boo. Yeah, I know where that comes from. Yeah. Hey, Connie, thanks for coming in. Do. Coloring. That's what we're here for. Coloring. I've done a little bit. I think I had one flower done, so, and a few, excuse me, and a few of the leaves. Well, they are leaves, aren't they? They're lily pads. So I'll show you what I did with the flowers. I call them flowers. They're lily pads. Wait a minute. Yeah, lily pads. I used these 3. Actually, I used 4. I used the pale sage. I do have 2 other pale sages, so I'm not without pale sages. Anyway, these are brutes. I used 79, 81, and 76. Maybe not the best set of colors, but then, I mean, the best set of colors used together. It seemed to work. And I use some white and the pale sage, of course. I don't know that I got enough sleep last night. I know where you live. I just wanted you to type it. Pencils. What pencils are you using? I'm using Brutes, and I'm coloring in Symphony of Cute Animals. You know, I should put the name of the pencils, if I know it at the time, into the title. Sometimes I'll change right in the middle of it and I'll go, oh, never mind, I didn't want to use that after all. I colored this little spot green when it should have been pink, so fix that. I really need one of those sippy cups that don't spill. See if I can rearrange this light a little bit. I thought it had a little thingy on it. Okay. I think that was... No. It's supposed to have one of those little knobs on this side, but maybe it doesn't. Okay. It's like if you don't put it right in the right spot, it's going to start moving. All right, very good. Good enough for government work, as my husband often says. I'll have to ask him where he got that. I think it's funny. Let me see. Hey, Elise, thanks for coming in. 38 minutes. Wonderful. So, if you're talking about a smartwatch, it's not always perfectly accurate, because if you move in your sleep, it's going to indicate that you woke up. If you're an active sleeper, like someone we all love and know, it's going to say you didn't get any deep sleep at all. So, you might very well have gotten more sleep than you think you did. And I hope you did, because sleep is sometimes just too hard to find. All right. Anyway, so when I was done coloring the first part, anyway, I used Posca's, the white, and this is like a, I can't even think of the word, macaroon color, pastel color, and then the dark one. I don't know they don't put their names on here, so it's the light and the dark and the white. And then, of course, I went over each of those with the one of the colors that I used. So what I found is you kind of want the tip to be a little flat when you do this. Otherwise, it'll dig right into the white. I mean, you could do it this way too. The other thing is you want to use something darker if it's in an area of light color, because it's white and so it's going to be muted. Anyway, I was saying the best pencils that I found for going over lines like that is really Prismas, because they're soft. So any soft color will work too. I'm not happy really the way that dark came out there. So I'm going to kind of blend that up and out. Yeah. See, now it looks more like a curved area. But then you got this over here. This is really a mess. I don't know. I may have to go in darker in some spots just because that Posca is not working very well there. And you know, I like to darken my darks. Charging batteries for tomorrow. I have to remember to actually take them off the charger. Yep. Hey Marcy, thanks for coming in. I need to get my phone out and in my channel, because if I don't... Oh, Zoe's on. Yeah, so I won't have to lift my head up so much to look at the computer to see what you're typing. This way it's right down in my face. What? Oh. No. No. If you want to go over to Zoe's, feel free. I don't mind. I just noticed that she was on. I've had trouble waking up in the mornings, mainly because my I set alarms on my phone, and I've had to set like 3 or 4 every 5 minutes, because my husband says that I will wake up and I'll hit the snooze, but I don't remember doing that. So in case I do hit the snooze, I'll have the next alarm come up. The other thing is sometimes the alarm will go off, but it won't make any noise, even though I've set it to make noise. Kind of irritating. Then I found, I think it's a new feature of the built-in clock app that you can set your wake and sleep mode, and that will wake you up. It's gonna go just like that. Okay, I'm starting to like these lily pads a little better now. Y'all probably said, they look just fine. What are you chewing on today? Oh, he likes to go out and eat the acorns. Well, he doesn't really eat them, he just crunches them. He just crunches on them and scatters the debris all over my craft room. Oh my goodness. Yeah. It happens. It happens. So when we go camping, my husband has a list that he made of all the things to remember. And if we get to the campsite and I say, where's such and such? He'll say, I thought you got it. And I'll say, I thought you got it. So now he makes a list. And then he'll ask me, did you get the such and such? Because it's on his list to remember to get, or for me to remember. And I'll say, yes, I did. I put it right there in the hall. Or it's in my purse, or, just something. And if we both forget something, there's a Walmart nearby. And we always go there. I try not to. I'll try to say, well, I can live without that. Or you can get it down at the little store at the corner. Something like that. I know I keep tweaking these and tweaking these. Oh, you forgot a memory card. That's funny. Sticky notes. See that? That's the sticky note. See it? Yeah, there it is. You'll have to pause to see what I wrote. But anyway, it's just when I'm in class, I use the same praise words. I'll say good, very good, excellent. I often say that in just that order. And I thought, well, maybe the child will be tired of me saying the same thing. So I literally have to write down different things to say. If you look up a thesaurus of other ways to say very good, you will get so big of a list that you can't possibly say them all in a lifetime. And so I try to remember to say different things. Anyway, so I have to write that down. I have to write it down until it's in my brain. Yeah. Yeah, we have a grocery list. And if Steve forgets something, I'll say, did you buy such and such? Was it on the list? And I said, well, I thought it was. So I've got to keep on my toes. Steve does the grocery shopping, and I've tried to take the grocery shopping back um, by shopping online, so he can just pick it up. But he'd rather do it himself. Now I have been able to find deals on Amazon for different things, and so that's one less thing for him to need to buy. And that works out. Sometimes Walmart is just a better deal, but not all the time. Don't forget to name the alarms. Yes, there is a little feature that you can put a name on the alarm. Usually I know what it is, but it's a good idea to name them. I said these were Brutfuners, but I didn't say which. These are the squares, as you could probably all tell anyway. Just in case. Oh, our next question. When did you start coloring? As an adult, I should say, because you might have started when you were 2 years old. When did I start coloring? The fall of 21. So it has been almost 2 years. I remember somebody saying something about adults coloring, I don't know, several years before I started. And they sort of said it in a negative way that I didn't stop and think, well, maybe that would be fun. But I was just thinking kids' coloring books at the time. And it didn't occur to me that there are actually really, beautiful coloring books that adults would enjoy to color. And I didn't learn about that until fall of 21. In the fall of 21, oh, 06, wow. Noel, good, 2020. Oh, yeah. I teach English to Chinese kids. Occasionally, I'll get one from another country, like Korea, Japan. Mexico. I've had one child from Mexico, and I was able to use some of the Spanish I know, just I guess to make them comfortable. Like, oh yeah, she knows that, so she's good. No, they're overseas in China. Uh, I've taught a few that were in the U.S. I think there was one in Italy. Not very often are they in the U.S. That's a rare. All right, see, that's probably gonna be too blue, but I'll just go over kind of like painting on there. I wonder if it would work. This might be a bad idea, but I gotta try it. Well, that's nice, but it doesn't do what I need it to do. So probably what I'll do is just use the lighter one. No, it's not hard to teach. The crazy thing about it is when it comes to the grammar, there are things that we automatically know. They're built into us, as it were, because we started out in English. But with them, they have to learn it from scratch. And English grammar is crazy. And the spelling. There are so many words that we know by sight because they don't follow the regular spelling rules. And I'll say, okay, I'll write up on the screen the pronunciation of a word. I'll say, we say it like this, but we spell it this way. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, what? It's so hard to learn English. I'm glad that I know English. But if I were to try to learn Chinese or some other language, it might be the same deal where sorry, I'm thinking about what I'm doing and trying to talk at the same time. Where there's this intuitive grammar by the student that the student knows, but not, or the teacher would know, but not me. I have to learn it from scratch, and that's weird to teach grammar, and I'll have to look. Actually, I have to teach myself the grammar in order to teach the grammar. So I look at the lessons ahead of time. Unless I've already gone over that lesson, taught that lesson, then I won't. But I'll click through the slides and I'll get to the grammar part and I go, okay, what is the grammar rule? All right, we got to do this and do that and this, so that when I get there, I know what I'm talking about. First time I started was then I found a stash of drawing books. Wow, you did. So you had them all ready to go. Awesome. Yes, and that's the other deal is when two words sound the same, but they're spelled differently and they mean different things. And I know it's because English is an amalgamation. That's a big long word. of different languages, and so we're going to get this the way you spell one thing, but in one language, but you say it differently from another language. It's a wonder that anybody learns English at all. Oh, that's fine. Hundreds of coloring books, I am ashamed to say. Hundreds. Yes, I mean the lessons are in bite-sized pieces. Probably the thing I don't like about the regular lesson is that you've got to teach them several different things in one lesson. We're doing our reading, we're doing our listening, our writing, grammar, all these different sections of things in one lesson, and they're 25 minutes. I usually go over. I've only gone under once by accident, and I didn't get paid for that class. So I make sure that I go over, or I'm right on time finishing. It bugs me to have these little things go over the edge. I just got to stop. Yes, I understand that, Elise. I've had several friends that were homeschoolers, since I was homeschooler also, and their child had some form of dyslexia. One of my best friend's kids, I probably didn't let that dry long enough. He had the kind of dyslexia that's called dysgraphia. And he would, the problem with him was that as far as the writing goes, is that he changed, or she changed his curriculum a couple of times, and so each one had a different way of writing a letter, a cursive letter or a regular letter, and his brain interpreted that, and he tried to do all at the same time, so his letters looked wonky. The interesting thing about him, though, was that he could spell. Despite having dyslexia, he could spell. And you know what that boy did? He grew up to be an electrical engineer. Yeah. He could solve, like the Clue game, the game Clue. He didn't have to write anything down. He could solve it without writing anything down. And I'm sitting over here writing all kinds of notes and stuff to the side, trying to put it all together, and he's like, oh, it's such in the room, whatever. And sure enough, he'd win. So anyway, it's a challenge. It was a challenge for him, but he did well. Now his uncle has dyslexia too, and he was an artist, so he had a completely different type of dyslexia. Well, I was trying to get rid of my mess art supplies. Yeah. Yeah, they do. I don't have 100 books. The last time I counted, there were 50, but I know I've added a couple of more since then. I try really hard not to buy any more books, but um, then there's ones that I just have to have. I just have to have it. I think I have done enough. Whoa. Worked on the lily pad enough. I'm not totally satisfied with that one, but like I want it to be darker back here. I think I'll use the brown. This is a 23. Actually, I wonder if I'd rather use some kind of gray color. That's 2. That might be okay. I don't want to put too dark of a color back there. This is the black. Well, there's so much green on that, it's going to look fine. Database of my books and pencils for... Wow. I would buy any Carrie book published. I love mythographics. Oh, Kirby? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the silly items they put in there either. I suppose at the beginning, people might have liked it. When I color in one of those books with the hidden pictures, I just color over it as if the object next to it, like if it's a leaf, I just make it another leaf. Just color over as if it was a leaf. But I'm glad they stopped putting that stuff in there. Awesome, Elise. That's great. I'm not sure if we had any students in my schools that had, I mean, there probably were, but maybe they didn't know what it was at the time. Not enough research, maybe. I'm just tweaking. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Alrighty, the ducks. So, I think I might make them regular yellow ducks because that'll stand out really well from the green. And then the turtle, we can do, I can do brown and green. trying to think what other colors are turtles. They're mostly green and brown because they're supposed to blend in. But I think I might like to make these kois. Like these two. Maybe this one. But these three, I don't know. Do they look like bass? Just rainbow trout? I don't know what they're supposed to be. Yes, the little turtle is adorable. I like it a lot. I don't think I've bought the same book twice by accident. I do have a new copy of Fragile World. No, Worlds Within Worlds. Because there's a couple of pictures in there I wanted to redo. I have a guest room that has become an art storage area. No more guests. Oh, I was going to come visit you, Marcy. We have a guest room, and occasionally it becomes the Christmas stuff room. We put all of that, the boxes and whatnot in there. Paper, wrapping paper, bags, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like a temporary catch-all room. Catch whatever season it is. I had all the stuff that I was had used in teaching. I started to teach in when was it? I stopped in 2020. Let's see. Was it 2020 that I stopped? I think it was 2021 when I stopped teaching, like it was January or February. Before that, I think I started 2.5 years before that, which would make it, let's see, 2019, 18 or 19. I can't think of it now. I don't math very much. Ducks, yellow. Ducks are yellow. These will be. There's a little bit of light in there. And hey, Mona. An apple crow's nest? Oh, you're going to have to tell us about that. You should make the colors with a tint of blue so they look underwater. Oh, awesome. Excellent. Sounds like a good idea. Sorry, I'm trying to find my root squares. There it is. It was right there. So I can look at yellows. trying to think, would they be a little bit orange? Or they're going to be a little brown is what they're going to be. 69. And 2 out. Okay. Countryside flowers. 3. That's maybe. I could put that in. That's 2. Fried chicken. That's fun. 93. This one. I'm not sure I'm going to use that. I think if we're to go with the brown. And then 24. I'm trying to go with browns that are kind of yellowy. Or what I imagine is yellowy. Something like that. Okay. I live in a student apartment, so I don't have any space. And there's sour gravy that goes on the... Sour gravy? I don't know about that, Mona. Sour gravy? Now, when you say sour gravy, do you mean like not sweet? Or maybe savory gravy? Or is it like really sour? Oh, on the apple pie. Sweet and sour. Okay, I see what you're saying. That does sound interesting. Oh, our next question. Why did you start your YouTube channel? Now, some of you don't have one, so you don't have to answer that one other than coloring. What do you like to do? Ah, that is a great question. What do you like to do in your free time? That is a great question. Gonna look up. Free time. I knew someone was going to say that. What's free time? What is this free time you speak of? Ooh, you know what? That orange is going to go well in there. Oh, we have a soft yellow baby duck or some with a little brown on its head. Little orangey around the edges. Okay, so a little bit of everything. I mean, I know what baby ducks look like. I just wanted it for placement of color, kind of. Sorry about that. All right, I think I'm going to start with 69. 69? Yeah, banana milk. This will make a nice base, but I need to sharpen. Cleaning, shopping, and laundry. Oh, yeah. I started... I started my live stream. My channel. So I could, I don't know, teach things that I learn figure out on my own. Um, and so I could have a live stream where I could talk to people. Free time. What do you think I am doing now? I'm watching you. Oh, what? You're doing your laundry. Okay. I work 2 jobs, so I don't have much time. Well, just imagine if you had extra time, what would you want to do? I really have more free time than anybody should have. um, I teach mostly on Friday night and Saturday night. Those are my big ones. And I teach a little every morning, except for Sunday. I don't teach Sunday night either, so don't teach then. Now we'll bring in the O2, which is Midsummer Fruit. I have a lot of hobbies. I've got sewing, coloring, which would include painting, art stuff. Well, sewing quilts is art too, so whatever. When there's a Lego game, I play it. I've got my dogs. Of course, there's my toy boy. Do you, my boy? That's a big boy. He is. He's a big boy. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna take a little nap, Mama. I'm such a sleepy puppy. He's 7 months now. Amazing. All right. I did do some gardening for a while, but gardening is hard. I'd rather do other stuff. It almost sounds like my father-in-law out there, but it's the neighbor across the fence. Can y'all hear him doing his weed eating? I do inordinate amount of scrolling, watching shorts and reels and stuff. I shouldn't be doing that so much. Okay, their feet are kind of yellowy orange, so I'm gonna go ahead and just, gosh, I love this yellow. It's so smooth. It goes so smoothly on the paper. I like it. Oh, it works. Kind of makes it look like feathers. Sometimes I find new interesting techniques by accident. I go, how does that look? Hey, that doesn't look half bad. It doesn't look half good either, so I'm good. The only free time is when you're asleep. Okay. Do I have cats? I have 1 cat and 4 dogs. Connie, I feel the same way. I teach from home, and then I find myself, that's something I need to work on, is that wasted time. This is '03, which is Countryside Flowers. Is finding those little bits of time that I'm wasting on watching the reels on YouTube, Facebook, and the shorts. I just get sucked into them, you know? And I really need to work on that. Catch myself before I spend too much time. I wonder, somebody was saying once that the shorts and the reels, they shorten your attention span because they're not very long, and you get this satisfied feeling when you watch them. So you teach yourself impatience, basically. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is that really? No. Oh, I know what that is. A little bit of Posca. Well, that's okay. We'll just leave it. We'll cover it over with some darker in a minute. I have a tortie named Zora. She makes appearance every time yeah, my one cat would do that too. But he doesn't come in here as much. If I'm up late, he will come in here and jump on my desk and basically say, okay, you're done. It's time. You haven't petted me today. Something like that. My puppy dog is laying in his little bed right next to me. He's so sweet. You're so sweet when you're asleep. 93. Do I hear a 93? It's loquat honey. Loquat. I actually have a loquat tree in my front yard. No, I take that back. I don't. I did have one. But during Snowmageddon, it died. That was its start of its death. It actually died the next year, but it gave out fruit only once. And I pick them and eat them. And I'd gone to this garage sale. Now I'm really getting off of it. And I met this woman and her dad. She helped take care of. And he liked to make jelly. And there was some kind of tree, I don't remember what, in his yard that he used to make jelly. Well, they both did. And I said, you know, I've got this loquat tree in my front yard. It's got all these fruits on it. And he said, and we talked. I said, why don't you come over and pick some? There's too many for me to do anything with. I hate for them to go to waste. So he came over, and his daughter brought him, and he was elderly, so it wasn't like a teenage daughter or anything like that. She was probably closer to my age at the time. And anyway, they made some loquat jelly and gave me some. Now, it wasn't the greatest jelly in the world, but you know, it was okay. I have Zora. Okay, so that wrangling dogs and cats, coloring and gardening. Yep. What kind of gardening? Food gardening or flower gardening? Teaching over Zoom hard. It's not really Zoom. It is their own app. It's called VIP Kit if you're interested. And then if you use my link, then I'll get credit if you sign up. If you want it. It's not a big thing. It's really not that much they give you anyway. Anyway, it's their own app. And it's like Zoom, but it's their app. And it can be challenging. I've got to make sure that I'm close enough to the screen. I mean, I will get my face up into the camera if I need to, so they can see my lips moving and how to say a certain sound or whatever. But I need to be able to back up a little so they can see any kind of hand motions I'm doing, indicating tall, short. Well, short wouldn't be a big deal, but tall things are long. I mean, this is 24, which is roasted coffee beans. Yeah, so I used to stand all the time to teach when I first started. No, when I first started, I sat. And then from one of the other teachers, because we have support groups on Facebook, I got the idea of standing, and then I got it one of those standing desks where you can sit down with it or stand up with it. Then I stopped teaching in 2021, and I sold that. And I really don't wish it back, because if I did, I couldn't color and draw on the same desk. Anyway, and you get the usual IT problems, sound, video. Their internet sometimes goes out. Some areas in China don't have very strong internet, so you'll get that. But as long as they can hear you and they can see you relatively well, it's not too much of a challenge to teach that way. I would say discipline is hard to do. We have to be very creative. Sometimes creative means ignore and just keep teaching. There's really not a lot you can do other than say some things like, okay, put down your phone and focus on the slide, or look at the slide. When they're little kids, that's a little harder. I've been working on this duck a long time. Well, this is the one I'm figuring it all out on. I'll probably go a little darker on that in just a minute. I'm going to go back with a little more of this yellow. There are students where I feel like pulling my hair out. But most of the students are really good. I mean, their parents are paying something, I don't know how much, for me to be there and for them to be there to learn English. So they know they're supposed to behave, and most of them do. Sometimes you get the younger ones that are jumpy and all that, and I just make it a part of the class. I'll say, wow, you jumped really high. If it is an action word like jump or run, you will get a student that wants to jump and run. It's just going to happen. I'm just using the same colors over and over to kind of, I think I sharpen this one to give indication of some feathers. Then you get the students that are just perfect. You think, and you put in you have the right feedback. At the end, there's a form you fill out, and I'll go, I was so happy to meet so-and-so today. She is a super student, or a joy to teach, and things like that. And I'm like, oh, I wish all my students were that way. But now I got out 114. It's the one that I had laying here. I just want to darken their feet a little bit, since whoa, that's a little too dark. Oh, look at that. Roasting coffee beans. See, I had started writing the name down on there, but I didn't finish it. That's one of those things I'll do when I'm bored or something. I'm usually not bored. Let me see. I like longer content so I can draw in color while I'm watching. Fundraising for a couple of symphonies. Awesome. Food and flowers. Cool. The easiest thing, the two easy things that I've grown, that's not proper grammar. I find myself thinking of my grammar a whole lot more since I started teaching. The things that I grew that were easy, they pretty much just grew themselves. I didn't have to do much. Was okra and peppers, like not bell peppers, but hot pepper, jalapenos. Cucumbers weren't too bad. They grew and grew and grew, and I had to learn to pick them before they got too big, or they wouldn't taste right. But I learned how to make pickles that year. There were so many. Can you drop them if they're problematic? There's not much you can do if the parent books you. If you cancel a class, it's going to go against your amount of classes you can. They call it a teacher cancellation or a TNS, a teacher no-show. Yeah, it doesn't look favorable. They don't look favorable on canceling classes unless you have a really good reason. If you get too often, if you cancel classes too often, I don't think I've ever canceled a class except one time, and I got really dizzy. So I had to say that I was dizzy and I couldn't teach the next class. The other thing you can do, which right now falls on deaf ears, I'm talking bad about the company. I get a lot of students, so I'm happy. But you can write to the learning partner. A learning partner is someone that is over a certain amount of kids, maybe 50 kids, maybe more than that, I'm not sure. They're probably overloaded right now. You can put that's at the bottom of each of the forms, feedback forms. You can write to them. You can also write to the parent. You know, you got to be very tactful, very, very tactful about it. Okay, let's see. Would blue look better here, or I could do, oh, I don't want to do pink. Maybe I do. Pink and maybe orange. Pink and blue. Purple maybe. I'm thinking of the bows. I'm not frozen. Let's see. Do you know how to speak Chinese? I don't. I started learning how to speak, but I didn't have anybody to practice with, so I just kind of fell off that. And then I stopped teaching for a year and a half. They actually asked me back. I had started saying, you know, I need to get back into teaching because I've got a lot of I've got an insatiable desire for art supplies. So I got back into it. It's sad. I got back into it so I could feed my art supply monster. My watch says stand up. Go. I'm not going to stand up right now. I'm going to drink something. I sound a little scratchy. A little bit scratchy. Do you have a Huion tablet? No, I use a computer. I do have a laptop that I have taught on occasion. It's my backup. If something happened to the internet or electricity, I can still teach. And the strangest place that I've taught is in our little camper. Before I could close the class down, a student booked me, and so I taught them. I was inside our camper teaching, so I thought that's fun. That's the most unusual. I was gonna say the second strangest place was in a parking lot of Chick-fil-A, and I made it to class within 1 minute of it starting. Maybe it was even less than a minute. I was babysitting, and the dad got home later than I thought he would. I thought I could get back home before the class started. But what I should have done was stayed and taught there, which they let me do if I need to. And anyway, I got all this. I was running like mad, getting all the stuff out of my bag to be able to plug in. I had to make sure the car was on, all that. I had to get to the other seat because I couldn't teach in the driver's seat. And anyway, it was a mad dash. And to think of it now, it was funny, but at the time, it was like, Oh my gosh. I did not want a teacher no-show at all. So it was crazy. No, I didn't actually. When you start with the, yeah, all you have to have is a degree. It doesn't matter what it's in. I have an art degree, so it, it doesn't matter what you have. And that is because of China. It cuts down on the amount of available or usable, I guess, teachers, but that's the way they have to do it. So any degree. I have taught a little bit of classroom when we had homeschooling classes. Um, well, they weren't like classes for the teacher, they were classes for the students. We would teach each other's kids. It would just be kind of a fun classes. Sometimes a teacher would figure out a way to teach a lab. I mean, a parent would be able to teach a lab so that the high schoolers could get their credit. I thought about teaching in the classroom, but in fact, I was going to. I was working on my science teaching certification, but that's a whole nother story. But whenever I have a lesson, whenever there's a lesson that has science in it, I get real excited about that. Oh, the next question. We haven't finished our questions. Let's see. What do you do for work? What are 3 random facts about you? You can answer one or both of those, or none. Well, I have been talking about what I teach, what I do. It's part-time. I teach in the evenings and in the early mornings, not too early. I think when our time changes again, I'll pick up 1 or 2 more classes in the morning, because in the evening I'll lose 2 classes. That's on Friday and Saturdays. If they're on holiday, like a big holiday, summer, Chinese New Year, then I'll get more classes then. See, I thought you had a tablet for your... Oh, no, I just, somebody was telling me, I think it was Kenny maybe, I can't remember now, said it was good for reducing smudging. There's not a lot of smudging with these Brute Funer squares, but there's a lot with the softer pencils. Oh, that's great. I like that. Christ follower. Lover of paws. Yep, I'm with you on that one. I would have more pause if a certain wonderful husband I live with would let us get more. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So if there's an animal that needs rescuing, I make sure I share it a whole lot on my Facebook. Cool. I'm liking the way this duck's coming out. I really am. Easiest to explain, I am a personal shopper for 3 mines in our area. Quest follower, wife, mother, grandma. Artist colors, redhead. Is redhead an occupation? Three mines. MINES, as in a mine where you mine ore or coal or something like that. I can't even shop for my own groceries, so I don't think I would be a good shopper. My aunt, one of my aunts, works for Walmart, and she does the shopping. Oh yeah? Okay, cool. She does the shopping. People send in their orders online, and she prints out the list, and she goes shopping. So she grocery shops all the time, but only once or twice for herself. I think I may go a little darker. A little darker with that. Well, almost the same color, aren't they? 23 and 14. Oh, 114 has got a little bit of red in it. So I'll stick with, did I do this one already? Yeah, I think so. Oh, good, I didn't. I just wanted to get a little darker. I think it's running out of tooth there. I put too much brown in the feet. I just had that, didn't I? Yeah. It's fun to buy with other people's money. Absolutely. Yeah, give me your money. I'll go shopping. I'll go art shopping. Woo! All right, 3 random facts. Oh, that's what y'all did. Now, are those random facts? I guess you could combine them, your work and random facts. Your favorite coloring book right now, not one from a year ago, but what is today in this whole month of today? What is your favorite coloring book? go with, I'm trying to think koi. Of course, I'm going to have to look it up. Oops. They can be all kinds of colors. Mostly, wow. That right there looks exactly like this picture. Wow. It's as if this artist looked at that picture. It's called fishhobbyist.net. And that exact thing is right there. All right, anyway. It is mostly white, so I think maybe I'll bring in that little bit of greeny blue color. Which would be teal or turquoise, depending on... What is the difference between teal and turquoise? Are they pretty much the same color? To me, teal is a little more blue and turquoise is a little bit more green. Or is it the other way around? I don't know. Sure have a real greeny blue. Can try. Turquoise is more blue, and teal is more blue too. I don't know. Thanks for coming in, Mona. Hey, Yana. Oh, I'm so sorry you're ill. I hope you feel better. Teal is more of a blue-green. Yeah. Okay, I think we'll go with... I want to pick up some of the color from here. Let's go with a misty. Oh, I like that one. Frog feet. That's what it's called. Frog feet, number 82. 82? 83. 83. I don't do sick very well either. Oh, yeah. Bronchitis can be a nasty business. I would leave that to the doctors. But I hope you feel better really soon. This is 83. I just said that. Frog feet. I think it was called... I'm trying to see what I erased. I can't really see. Some of the names were really silly, so... Frozen feet? No, that's an S. I don't remember. So I'm going to put a little bit of that under here. And then I'll put a little of $36. Some of these I haven't sharpened, so maybe too light. Probably thinking too much on this, as I usually do. All right, now get out some gray. A little bit of gray. A little bit. Whoa! I have ninja skills. Jedi skills. I want to gray this up a little bit. Do they give you the lesson plans, or do you have to run? Oh, they give us the lesson. Each lesson is probably 12 to 50 something slides, depending on what kind of a lesson it is. They have their general lessons. And they have their specific, like the one of the ones I like a lot is from words to sentences, and that's fun. You don't have a ton of teaching in there. You're just showing them how they can put the words to sentences. Come in with a little bit of white to kind of lighten this up. This is too, I suppose I could just use a eraser, but I'm also trying to blend. I'm not doing a very good job. Let's do the green. Probably making this more complicated than it needs to be which I'm apt to do. I don't know that I color fish that often, so I'm learning too. Alright, let's try some. The mosquitoes seem so bloodthirsty this year. I can't even go into my backyard without putting on repellent. Oh. Nematodes. Go to Amazon or your local greenery, nursery. Nematodes. Put those all over your yard, and they will help kill the mosquito larva that's in the grass. They're little microscopic creatures that basically eat the fleas, eat the mosquitoes, anything with an exoskeleton. Mosquitoes don't really have an exoskeleton, but they do eat the larva and the eggs, and we haven't had a mosquito or flea problem for that matter. You've got to reapply it probably, I don't think, it's been 5 years since we, what are you chewing now? You're still chewing on acorns. Okay. Still chewing on them acorns. 05 is... Orange gummies. Yeah, they're gonna come, the ones I've ever bought, come in this ball, and I don't know why they come in a ball, but they come in a ball. You open it up like an egg, and there's a packet in there. And you're gonna get one of those hoses, bottles that hook onto the hose. It's going to tell you. Now, sometimes did the last one come actually in a bottle? I don't know. Anyway, you put that in there. You turn on the water. There's a certain amount of level of spray so that the water goes and gets as much out. Anyway, it'll tell you on the package how many square foot that particular set of nematodes will cover. And then you just spray it until you've got it. You put it in the main area, especially around the perimeter of the house, and then in the spots where, well, that was fleas, but it works for sorry, my brain just went ugh. I keep looking up at my reference picture, trying to figure out how I want to do this. Anyway, what was I saying? It works for mosquitoes. If you're really bold and you have some extra money to spend, build a purple martin house. Purple martins eat up mosquitoes. What I did was with the nematodes is we sprayed around the edge of the house, and then a little further out from it. If we still had some in there, then we went on and sprayed other areas, but we made sure that the area that we wanted around the house and around the front a couple of feet from the house was really saturated. Okay. Ava. Yes, Skin So Soft. Yeah, I've heard that too. It does a good job. Oh, you do Avon too? I tried all that selling stuff and it never worked out for me. Passionate Flammero. There I am. Passionate Flammero. I don't know how to say that, but I should have just put Passionate Flame on there. I think I got off on a tangent. Yeah, they provide the curriculum for you. You just make sure that you're familiar with it before you get into the class. And now, if I've taught the class before, I usually don't spend too much time. And sometimes the lessons they'll run the same kind of format, like the guided reading. The beginning, you have a warm-up question, and then you have maybe 6, 7 vocabulary words. And then the cover of the little book that's in there in the lesson. And you ask the author's name, the title, what do you think it's about, and then you have this usually the same format on the pages, book pages. You have the material you read, and a few things the teacher might read, and you may have a question to ask on there, and so it kind of runs like that. And toward the end, you'll have comprehension questions or more comprehension questions. That is not a bad fish. I don't think I've bought Avon in years. Oh boy, that water's good. I might go a little darker with number 18. Is that green? I think that's green. I don't want green. No, I don't want that green. What is this one? Yeah. Whoa. Stop falling down. Are the classes all English? Do you teach other stuff? It's all English. I mean, you're studying folk tales, different types of writing, different kinds of genres, poems, songs, photo essay, um, history, science. It's all included. Everything is in there. They do have science courses, but I think maybe they discontinued that because there wasn't enough interest, I guess. But there's science in the lessons. Like a little bit of geography in there. This is number 55. It's just a darker blue I'm trying to weave in. Okay, tweak, tweak, tweak. Okay, so I got that fish. Now I've got all kinds of greens laying out here. Greens and blues. I mean greens and, well, greens and blues, but greens and browns. So I can work on the turtle. This koi fish, I'll probably use a different reference for that. Probably this one. This one looks good. Try to just get different colors, but they're pretty much all orange. Some might have a little bit of brown. There's some like golden ones. Pretty. Wow, that one's like bluish yellow. Anyway, so I'll do that one. No, our next question. What's our next question? Did you give your favorite coloring book? I don't remember if you did. No. Once we have favorite coloring book, favorite medium, that probably gets asked a lot. Do you have any secret skills? Do you collect anything other than dust? Your greatest accomplishment, your favorite childhood memory? Oh, there's so many questions. I don't know. You just answer any of those that I threw out there. Favorite coloring book, favorite medium. Do you collect anything besides art supplies? Yep, it's funny. Turtles, turtles. Oop. Nah. Wow. It's interesting what comes up when you miss a letter. Pretty, pretty. Ooh, I can make this a little red-eared slider. They're dark on top with green streaks. Oh, weird. it's definitely underwater. Turtles underwater. That is not the right turtle. I'm getting a lot of sea turtles. I don't want a sea turtle. Pond. I'll just put pond. Let's get this cream colored. That's so cute. Years ago we had red-eared sliders, and Steve won't have any more turtles. That is close enough for government work. All right, I think I'm gonna use this same one. There's a method to my madness. Fairies from Elena Lazarova, Wizard of Oz and Eeyore. Coloring books, pencils and markers, and lipsticks. That's what you collect. Okay. Kanoko, Paul Brune. Okay, awesome. Oh no, Kenny, you poor thing. You don't have your credit card. I no longer collect things, as someone will have to decide what to do with them when I'm gone. That is too true. Now, you can have a little bit of say over that, but not usually. Got these streaks in here of yellow, and then a little bit of yellow underneath. That little pit in its face. And then basically you just go right into dark. And is there a little bit of green? Let's do some dark green on its face. Yeah, I think about the stuff I've got, and I guess the older you get, the more you think about stuff like that. And so I think, well, if we passed, our daughter would have to go through all of it, or my sister would. And it's like, maybe we should just start getting rid of stuff now. This is number 79, by the way. I've used it up here. Let's see. I have very specific interests that most would care nothing about, so no more collecting. Yeah. Getting rid of things can definitely be a challenge. one thing that helped us get rid of a lot of stuff was moving. But then we just can't move all the time, so. And I don't think either of us want to go up there into the attic and pull a bunch of stuff down. I'm just making little squiggly lines. Kind of give it a pattern. And then I'll go in with some dark brown. 114. I think that's kind of dark. It looks almost like sepia. This may not backfire. I suppose I didn't have to make him exact. Well, I told my sister, I said, you can have all my stuff. And if anyone else in the family wants something, you can give it to them. Okay. I got some lines going there. I really like this blue. Probably put some blue down here too to darken up the greens. He looks like a mess. But it'll all come out. Where is that really dark? Oh, this isn't black. This is almost black. It's called Cold Night. Question. Your favorite childhood memory? Favorite childhood memory? I think as far as childhood memories go, they've changed over the years. Because the things I think of now usually have to do with my grandparents. And before they passed, maybe I wouldn't have thought of a childhood memory being a favorite. I might have said, oh, when I first saw Star Wars or something like that. But, as I get older, then I think about those times when I spent with my grandparents. And so I think about that. One of my favorites is they would take me to a state park near them called Dangerfield State Park. It's in East Texas. Y'all could look that up. And the first time Steve and I went there, you can talk, Steve. The first time Steve and I went there, I went to the spot where I remember my pawpaw sitting when he was waiting on me to swim and be done. He would lay down and take a nap. He'd put his hat, he'd lay flat at his back, cross his legs, cross his fingers and hands on his stomach, and he'd put his cap over his head so the sun wouldn't, over his face so the sun wouldn't bother him. And I knew exactly where that spot was, and I went there, and I started bawling. And we've gone there since, so I don't cry anymore, but that first time, I hadn't been there since I was 12. And this was last year sometime. So a great many years had passed since I had been there. And so I like the memories of just simple things like that. Spending time with my grandparents. Fishing and camping with your dad. Yeah. Some of my best memories with my husband are definitely camping. We're still camping now, but this is that Green Again 79. I used to collect all kinds of stuff. I remember when I started collecting stamps. I saw the ad for send in this amount of money, like $2, and we'll send you a load of, get started on our monthly thing where we send you stuff. If you don't like it, just put it in an envelope and send it back, or keep it and pay for it, that kind of stuff. I started doing that and got a little bit crazy with it. And my husband said, you need to stop spending money. You need to stop spending money on these stamps. It's getting ridiculous, I said, okay, I'm sorry. I did postcards, stamps. I did pen pals for a while. I don't think I really collected anything when I was a kid. I just didn't think about it. I had no interest in stamps or anything else like that. I really don't know what I'm doing on this turtle. I'm just coloring until I'm satisfied. I still have all the stamps that I collected. I saw them a few weeks ago. I think they're in the closet now. That's the joy of going through your stuff, is you run into stuff you forgot about. You go, do I really want that? Ooh. Turtle. Oh. Okay, we need some more of this dark under here. Ooh, I may have to break out the black. Could do red instead. Well, that would make... Let's see what happens. No, it's got to be black. No, I'm gonna have to get rid of that red. At least I didn't put down much, so it's okay. Oh, you know what I forgot to do was color him through, is that the dark green? No, there's the dark green. As if the leg continued through the bubble. Go ahead and add some more green to that black. I'll probably go over those lines with Posca or something, so I can recolor them. All right. Next question. Whoops. Oh, don't forget to go push the like button. Go. What are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? really like my turtle. I think he came out really well. So I did another flower. I finished up some flowers, leaves. I did a koi fish, 2 ducks, and the turtle. That's pretty good. I can try to finish this up, or most of it, and maybe we can do some background stuff and some bubbles. So I will work on the greenery, the vegetation, and the frog and the duck and the fish, and then maybe on Tuesday we can work on the background and the bubbles. Jesus, family, friends, animals, children who have no voice. Oh, yes, absolutely. I have to remember what question I asked, because nobody was answering. So. Oh. I slid my hand through that. Oh, I hate that. It messes up your color, you know, when you're going to put something down. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, I think he's very cute. Being a red-eared slider, I forgot to give him his little streak in his. It's right behind his head, above his eye. Oh, I'll probably have to do something with that. Something different with that. But anyway, that's what he'll have eventually. I might, I mean, they really don't have a ton of color. I suppose I could erase a little bit and maybe have it reflect a little bit more of light. Yeah, and maybe darken up this area a little bit more. He's not going to pick too much up, but in a picture you can do whatever you want, right? So maybe a little more blue here and there. Oh, yeah, some backgrounds are horrid. Yes. Rescue animals. Definitely. Put a little sunlight on him. Ooh, I like that. Poor panda. Let's see. Yeah. So I think I'll finish this all by Tuesday. I mean, we'll do the background and stuff. Or I can start a new page. It's up to you. Well, actually, it's up to me. I don't know. I haven't been doing as many pictures in a month as I used to. So I haven't even done of what I finished this month kind of video. I ought to go through and pull out all the stuff. What did I do for September? Maybe I'll do 2 months at a time. about redoing his deck next week. Oh yeah, that's right. Your dad had a birthday. Well, I'm gonna go. Thanks everyone for coming, and we'll see you in the streams. I've got a full load of classes tonight, so I won't. I hate to miss Emily's streams all the time, but Friday is Fridays are work days, work evenings. You're welcome. Thanks for being patient with me and coming in and hopefully enjoying some chat. And, I'll see y'all later.